Late model lights. A little bit of controversy in this race. Did you guys see what happened?
I missed that whole race just about.
Yes.
You did. Okay. Controversial finish. Okay.
Yeah.
It was, yeah,
But here's the deal.
it's an understatement.
Well, okay, number one, yes, it was controversial. Okay. Number two, and I want to talk about this. I want to talk a few minutes about this because when you in this sport we have there's rules, there's guidelines, there's we got a lot of rules in racing, not just on the cars, but how a race is conducted, how it is scored. When a white flag comes out, the very next flag is a checkered. I don't care what happens. The next flag that flies is a checkered. You cannot throw a white, have a wreck, and drop a yellow. If you're going to do that, you better drop a checkered flag with the yellow.
Right.
Okay? This is my opinion. This is what I've seen in this sport. This is how I think it should go. I've seen this mistake made. Okay? And that's not what we're talking about. That's not the mistake. That wasn't a mistake. What happened was, that's exactly what happened, was the fact, go ahead.
Just, it happened in front of me, and then, you turn around to the pit crew, and you're like, hey, and then you're like, wait, what? Wait, no, what just happened?
Well, and that's all of us were saying that
Why not
because
this?
what happened was something that you very rarely see. Okay? Now, we had a new flagman. Okay? Regular flagman's out for the week. Okay? Doing his job. Doing a good job. Nothing wrong with the way he was flagging. Not complaining about that at all. What happened was, and I said, I honestly, this is the first time I remember seeing this. And I've thought about this, and I've thought, have I ever seen that? No, I haven't. What happened was, okay, what Nina's talking about. There was an incident on the track.
He was watching the lead car.
Well, no. Well, yes.
Because that's
yes.
why he didn't notice what was
Right.
going on in turn 1.
So there was a spin in turn 2. Turn 2, just past the apex, turn 2. Right.
It slid, yeah.
Okay. So there's a spin. I come across the PA, and I say, trouble in turn 2. We've got a car, trouble. But what I had said, actually, because it was right there towards the apex where she stands, takes photos. What I had said was trouble in turn 1. Okay, because when I first saw it, when he ended up spinning, was actually in turn 2 and coming to a rest. It started in turn 1, looked like it was an end in turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little antsy and said trouble in turn 1. Okay, the flagman hears what I say. Okay, watching the battle for the lead, watching the top 2 cars race, hears me say trouble in turn 1, reaches back, grabs the white flag, and drops it on the leaders. Okay? We've got 6 laps to go still. He must have heard me say, and this is kind of what I heard on the chatter on the radio, that he heard the announcer say, 1 to go. Whoa. What I said was trouble in turn 1. Grabs the white, drops it on the leaders. They come around, and he's got the yellow and the checkered out together. Okay? Nicole, who was our scorekeeper, has never seen this either. Carrie, who was helping score, she's with the Sprint Car Series, has never seen this. They both turn and look at me.
Like, what just happened?
And they've got their hands in there. What just happened? What just happened? What do you do? I said, that guy won the race. You've dropped the checkered flag. He's the first one there. He's the winner. Well, but there's still 6 laps to go. Doesn't matter. You threw the checkered flag. There's your winner right there. That's my opinion. That's how I think it should go. Honest mistake, you can't throw a checkered flag, have everybody come off the track, get them back together in the pit area and say, oh, by the way, we're going to go finish this race. You can't do that.
No.
What's done is done.
And do you know what? That's exactly what Mike said.
It's over.
it's done. Let's move on.
It's exactly what Mike McCann said.
Yep.
That is the right call. I understand second place, third for anybody else on the track being upset. I would be too. But what do you do? The race is over. The checkered flag's been thrown.
Yep.
Okay, it's been scored. I get those anybody, and I don't think there was anybody that was really super upset about it. I mean, probably frustrated.
I think they were more confused first.
There was.
And then frustrated. And because we even had a driver, or maybe it was a crew member of one of the drivers, come into the booth and ask. And I had to turn around and ask, so who won it? And it was the winning car. And I told him, well, as far as everybody in here is concerned, that car won the race. And he's like, that's what I thought. It was just mass confusion. And then, but I think you're right, Corey. I think that people weren't, after the initial shock wore off, I don't know that there was anybody that was, going to go to fists or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. No. And not with that group of, the Valley Sorrel late monolites.
Yeah.
Those guys they're a pretty good group of guys.
I think they're real tight. I think they're a tight-knit group.
I don't see a lot of...
and they're super nice.
I don't see hardly... I can't
you're in the pits with them.
I see any animosity out there with that group.
Well, and that's the thing, because when we do our pit walks and we're talking to drivers, when you talk to one late monolite driver, you seem to talk to all of them and their pit crews. They all kind of...
They're all together. They kind of...
But you look at how they're structured. That's a good group of guys. They race clean. I think they all understand, hey, look, honest mistake, what do you do?
I think so,
you can't say, okay, we're going to go back out and we're going to put you on the track. Now, you're the leader. You're running second at this point. You're third.
You can't start that over.
You're a lap down, but you're ahead of the second place car. You can't do that.
So who normally tells the flagman there's one more lap?
The race director.
Yeah, the race director. He shouldn't even be listening to you.
That's hard. I mean, he just...
Well, here's the thing, though. You got to think about how Southern Oregon Speedway is set up.
Yeah, he'd hear that.
Southern Oregon Speedway is set up where the flagman hears the announcer, okay? Those are some big speakers on top of that R. Charles Steiner's tower.
Well, and he doesn't have separate headphones.
Mm-mm.
No, he had a receiver in so she could tell him when to throw the white, okay? But he heard one, thought that I said one, and this is what I heard on the radio. It's kind of, it's still talking about stuff, but listening to what's going on the radio, because I listen to that radio for what's happening so I can give that to the crowd. And from what I heard was that he heard the flagger or the announcer say one to go. What I said was trouble in turn one. Okay, he heard that one, reached back, grabbed the white, and I thought, what's he doing? And he throws the white, and I thought, they came around, and there was, when they took the checkered flag, there were still 6 laps to go.
It could have been the other way, too, where he, I was going to say, reaching back for the yellow, grabs the white and goes, oops.
Yeah, I saw it, and I thought I saw him reach back, and I thought he was going for the yellow.
Well, and
all of a sudden he comes with the white, and I'm going, what?
Once that white flag has been thrown, you don't throw anything else but a checkered. Unless there's a big wreck and you have to throw a red, okay, you throw a red and a checkered. The next flag comes out, the checkered is there. That is it. The white flag has been, and I go back to that because a number of years ago I saw, and I'm not saying any tracks, I'm not saying any names, but I saw a race director as the cars came out of turn 4, cross the start-finish line, take the white flag, okay, as the field went through turns 1 and 2, there was a wreck behind the leaders in turn 2 as they're going into turn 3. And the race director tells the flagman, caution, throw the yellow. That flagman looked back up. He said, caution, throw the yellow, as they were coming out of turn 4 for the checkered, and the flagman threw the yellow. Blew my mind. First of all, I'd never seen that. Crowd immediately starts booming. And I think at that second, that race director probably thought, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
What happened next? It ruined a guy's night. The guy that was leading, coming to the checkered flag when they threw the yellow, ended up finishing second. Would have won the race.
Right.
But it changed the outcome of the race, too.
In that case, did they just do one lap?
Green, white, checkered.
Yep.
So they never just go to checkered.
Nope.
They'll do a green, white, checkered.
Green, white, checkered. And that's what happened. And it changed the outcome of that race. Ruined a guy's night. Made another guy's night.
You know, and I've seen situations where they've thrown the checkered and a yellow at the same time for the same scenario.
That's what happened.
Which is what you should see as a checkered and a yellow.
Now, going back to this race, Greg Arnold in the 39, who has been really fast, okay? This is where, again, when I said that race director telling that flagman to throw the yellow, changed the outcome of the race. This, too, changed the outcome of this race. Because, and again, I don't know, and this is what created part of the confusion was exactly what we're talking about, was as they were coming out of turn 4 or going into turn 3, I don't know if a caution light was flipped on or it was still green, but everybody lifted except one car. Greg Arnold didn't lift. Drove by everybody and got the win. Okay? Ross Payant in the 7, who led, I think, every lap of that race. Ended up, I want to say he ended up finishing second. Let me recollect this. I'm just playing it in my mind how it went down. Charlie Eaton, the defending track champion, was the one that spun in turn 2. Okay? And the flagman threw the white. Payant slowed down. Assuming they were coming to a yellow flag. Should have been a yellow flag. When the flagman dropped the white and then came back around for the checkered. It ruined a guy's night, made another guy's night, and I'll tell you, all kudos and props to Greg Arnold. Greg Arnold got credited with the win, got the trophy, got the money. In victory lane, he says, by all means, Ross Payant was the fastest car on the track, had us covered, nobody had anything for him. He should be the one standing here getting this win and this money. Not me. I had nothing for him, wasn't going to beat him. He was the class of the field. He should be the one being credited with the win tonight. You take him how you can get him, even if you don't want to win him that way. I get it. Those guys are all friends. In fact, they're so much friends. Next race for the late model lights, Greg Arnold will be driving that same 7 car. So, I mean, just a really weird turn of events there. And the race only went, was it 9 laps? It was just a strange turn.
It was weird.
Had never seen that before. That I can. I probably have. I can't recollect it. Of all the races I've seen, just probably can't recollect seeing that happen. It was a very, very strange moment.
Didn't we have one race where he started the race with a white flag?
We did have that. That happened this year. Yep. And honest mistakes. Honest mistakes were made.
Well,
I have.
And that one actually was kind of funny because
it was
because Corey actually said something over the PA, and the flagman turned around and kind of smiled and laughed, and we got a good
Tommy
giggle.
Hood and I have
we got a good giggle.
Chatted
with
about
him.
that all season.
I just thought he did the same thing where he reached back and he just grabbed the wrong flag, and I thought that's what he did.
No, it was just an honest mistake. It was just an honest mistake.
This one I thought it was the same.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Greg Arnold, he got the win. Krista Hadley in the 16 car.
Yeah.
She won the heat race. She won the heat race. She won the trophy dash. She won the trophy dash and finished second. Payant ended up third. So he went from first to third in that little melee of what flag and what was going on, assuming it was a caution and lifting, and both those drivers getting around him. They finished 1-2. Payant ended up third. Eric Aos